And a good evening, everybody from Just About Watches. This is our second YouTube video. I have done videos in the past, but they've been on the closed group. So now we're going to use the YouTube channel primarily because it's very difficult to upload to Facebook. It keeps on giving me errors. So if we do get a following on YouTube and it gets to the revenue generating levels, that'll be going straight to the charity and not to the admin's pockets. I don't believe in any watch group benefiting from its members. I think that's abhorrent, but that's my choice. But we are a charitable legacy. And on that aspect, if you'd allow me to say a huge thank you to Vario, who have provided us with an absolutely different watch, if I might say. It's pretty much a Seiko in wolf's clothing. I say that because it has this tweed effect. Well, actually it is tweed, a tweed strap. We'll go into that another time because I will give that a review. It's a dress watch that you really have to get. I did like the personalised letter that they sent with a certificate of warranty. It's a limited edition, 10 of 20, and I'm delighted to be the keeper for now, because all I am is the curator of Just About Watches collection, the collection that you can see in front of us. So, back to the topic that I wish to discuss, and it's the topic that most admins and groups don't touch, and that's watch insurance. Have a look. Sit down, pause, take a look at how many watches you have and think to yourself, am I insured? Now I can tell you from bad experience, and I had a Cartier Tank 1930s. It was an absolute edition. In other words, there was only one of a kind, worth £130,000 sterling. It was stolen off me in London. I didn't know the value, but I thought I was insured anyway. Little did I know that I wasn't, and I ended up on a loser. So I implore everybody, you have to make sure that your home insurance has certain clauses in it that covers watches and specific items, because I've done a little example for you, if you pan in on the computer screen, of what just 8 watches do. And these are simple things. A mint condition vintage Vostok, which would set you back £500. That's been very conservative because I actually know the true value, but I'm not giving it to you. What I've done will be shown in Insurance Review 2 on how I do it. No, I tell you what I'll do. I'll show you now. Basically, I use an iPhone. I'll put my keypad there. I'll use a driver's license. There's my ugly mug. I look like somebody from the KGB, but there we are. I'll put a watch that I own because these insurance companies want you to prove it. And what I'll do is I'll set that up and take a snapshot with my iPhone or whatever camera you have. The higher the quality, the better. Now what that does is it ensures that you can prove, first of all, that either you're very good with Paint Shop Pro, and you can argue that with forensics, that you, via your driving license, which is unique to yourself, and your watch have been together. Now, using some good software, I use iDatabase for mine, or certainly for this example. What I do is I'll send across the image to my Gmail account. Now, this happened to be the Vario I was just exampling. As you can see, it's there, the driving license, my ugly mugshot, and the watch in clear view. Now that, in conjunction with receipts if you have them. I don't have a lot of receipts. I very rarely keep them. I've been collecting for 50 years, for goodness sake. So what I do is I basically for argument's sake, I've just made up a few of these, but then they're actually what I have. Some of them are good, some of them are not. But the average, as you look, for argument's sake, below the precisionist, £630 if you were to try to buy it. You could get, and I say could, you could get that for £400 to £500 if you get a bargain. But you try and find one again. You may not. So that's how much I paid. That's how much I'd expect back. Probably more, but I'd leave that to the underwriters to check. But basically, what you'll find here is just 8 watches, and they tallied up to over £3,860 sterling. Nearly £4,000 for 8 of the lower end watches I have. And as you pan around to the rest of my watches, and these are just a tiny portion of what I have. You can go down the tower. There's quite a few of them. Up you go, and right across, you will see that you have to be insured. It's all well and good you having CCTV and alarms, etc. But that's not going to stop a fire. So, if in doubt, check it out. Be detailed. I'll cover that more in the second video, or part 2 of the 2 parts, because I don't want to bore you to death. But I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to make certain that the insurance companies who really don't like parting with money, they're quick enough taking your premiums, but they don't like paying out. But if you can provide them with irrefutable evidence that you are or were the owner of the watch because it might have burnt to a crisp or been stolen, then they have to pay out. We'll investigate in the second part the insurance companies and the types of insurance companies. And for subscribers and members of Just About Watches, I will be working with underwriters to try and get a specialized insurance at a reasonable price for you, because there are specialized companies out there, but some of the prices are astronomical, and often with high-end pieces, they will not insure you. So we'll look into that in part 2, maybe part 3. It doesn't matter how long we go on, because quite frankly, what we need to do is make sure that we cover all bases. So on that, I'm going to ring my little servant's bell and say good night to you, and thank you ever so much. Please subscribe, give us a like, and share. Sharing is caring, and this Just About Watches legacy is no joke. You are all going to be touched by brain tumours and cancer. Have no illusions that you won't. Somebody in your family, or yourself, God forbid, will. So, join us in our campaign to raise funds and awareness. Really, it's more about the awareness, but the funds will always help. With cancer research and brain tumour research, let's see if we can't do our part. Good night to you all.